สวัสดีค่ะ Welcome back to MUIC Open Day 2021. It's a virtual open house day. So we have this since 24th, which is like 2 days ago, and this is the last day. And we have a special theme which is called Expanding Potentials. And we'll be having a live through Facebook, YouTube, and also through ZIP event. So it has been running 3 days, and then we had a fun time. On the first day, it was the business program that you're going to talk about. And second day, which is yesterday, was the topic about science. So we have about biological science, we have about physics, we have about chemistry, applied mathematics, and so many things, computer engineering, and also computer science. So that was for people who are highly interested in terms of science. Before I get into the details of what we'll be talking about today, I just want to tell you about how you could do the registration. First of all, do not forget to register in the ZIP event. And once you get yourself registered in the ZIP event, you'll get a link. And once you get the link, you're allowed to get into the virtual exhibition as well. And what you'll find there in the virtual exhibition are the 25 of the booths of different programs, and you can get one-to-one chat with your faculty members, with your alumni, with the teachers. You're going to talk to them, you're going to ask them about how is it like to study in this program, what's it like MUIC. Please feel free to ask for any questions, either your parents, either your students, doesn't matter. If you have any questions, just feel free to ask. And before I jump into the main topic of today, the special stuff for you to know. If you have logged into the MUIC Virtual Open Days of 2021 through ZIP event, and submit all the applications, ready, between 24th until 26th of June, which is like 2 days ago, and today, the last day. And once you have completed submitting everything, and do not forget to capture that, kind of like an evidence, a proof, and send it to our line. Our line is like @MUIC friend. It's the thing that you have to type when you search for a name of a friend in a line. And then you will have a special waive of application fee. And more than that, for students or me, or maybe like for anybody who have registered into the MUIC Virtual Open House, you will be also receiving an e-certificate and also a very special gift from us. It's called something exclusive. It's here. Ta-da! So if you have joined the MUIC Open Day of 2021, you'll be receiving this as well. But do not forget to get yourself registered and logged in. Okay, I'll just get this away first, okay? Okay. So it's now the time to hear about something exciting. So today, the theme is art, politics, and language. And to get started with the day, let's hear about Media and Communication Program. So I would like to welcome Ajahn Nunnapan Puathanawat, faculty member of Media and Communication Program. Hi, สวัสดีค่ะ
สวัสดีค่ะ
How are you today? You look great.
Thank you.
I'm very excited to hear about media and communication. Could you just share about what is this program about?
Okay, can you all see the slide? Okay.
It's coming up.
All right, that's good. Okay, ค่ะ สวัสดีค่ะ and it gives me a great pleasure today to share with you this exciting program that we have offered here at MUIC นะคะ So this slide shows about the overview and the course structures that we offer at Media and Communication program. So first of all, it is a program in media and communication in which students will be offered the Bachelor of Communication Arts in Media and Communication upon the completion of their course. And this is the course, the structure of MUIC division, in which you all probably would have listened to different divisions that MUIC offer. Now, MediaCom is under Fine and Applied Arts division, where we have two main programs. The first one, which is the communication program, and us, which is the media and communication program, or we call ourselves MediaCom, and people call us MediaCom. So what I would like to firstly introduce is our aim and mission. So in this case, what I think is interesting about our program is that media and communication program at MUIC is definitely an exciting, critical and creative community where we aim to provide students with several arrays of subjects that aim to position them to understand and succeed in today's disruption media environment, where convergence is the key focus to our teaching and learning. So in this case, what we do is that we tend to try to emphasize on the importance of the concept of media convergence, and also allow students to perform mastery in all area of the digitization of media format, in order for them to be able to embrace the idea of convergence, so that they can develop and bring out their specialism within this international community of all area across the media, arts and humanities subject. And so what we do in our program is that we tend to combine the use of theories and media practice, as well as allowing the student to apply and study about all the communication skills that are required in their first 2 years, where students would get to engage in creating critical creative media work, which will be able to provide them with the knowledge and enhance their skill, in order to be able to prepare them to create an effective media environment and being able to gain the employment opportunities once they graduate. So it is an exciting place. Definitely is, it is a new program, but something that is really exciting, and students have been enjoying to study with us. So moving on to the next one, which is this one. What I'm very proud to say is that our distinctive feature is that we are the only international program of communication arts in Thailand that allow the students to choose wide arrays of concentration, in which there are 3 main concentrations, and I'm going to talk you through that later on. And also within these concentration, the students are also able to select the major elective track before they can go on to conduct their thesis. So it is quite unique, and as I say, it is the only international program in Thailand that allowed the students to do this. And so in doing this, what we expect the student to achieve is to being able to produce skill of someone who can who have the passions in creating the media content with the analytical mind, and to are able to apply these skills that they have learned, both the theories and practical base, that would allow them to create effective media content, and also to be able to seek solution and understand the social trend and social practice of this changing in media environment.
So in doing this, by studying with us, they would be able to explore and research and create different kind of media content where they can really bring out their passions and their love for media to try to learn and embed it in the production of their work, in which I have several of projects that I would like to show you later on today. And this, I think, is something that would really help to bring the world forward, particularly during this time of pandemic, where we really need to ensure that these new generations and the students are able to bring out their best potential and their capability to reflect on the need to be able for them to create an effective media content. So within this, we aim for them to achieve and accomplish again these social skills in communication, being able to work in team and to be both a leader and a follower. So in doing so, what we have in our program is the expected learning outcome. Sorry. So these are the list of expected learning outcome in which we try to embed it within our course, starting from the very beginning, which is the first year up into the final year. So first of all, they need to be able to apply ethical standards, which would guide them through to the way that they apply this ethical mind through their work as well as their studies. So in doing this, they must be able to act appropriately and understand the ethical consideration and take all of these into account in all of their work. Secondly, what we expect students to achieve is to be able to solve the problem and to creatively overcome any obstacle, any kind of issues, or understand the social issues that are happening in the society right now, and being able to create that kind of content through the production of their media product. Thirdly is to use their creativity and global thinking, which is something that they would have learned from year one up until their final year in order to understand the cultural diversity in national and global perspective. So I think both locally and internationally are something that are critical to this. And so for the next three are being able to create and design and generate high quality media content. So it's not just about being able to use the camera, but being able to apply the knowledge that they have learned into being able to create and generate effective media content that would then be able to generate throughout the public. And so given this, as I emphasized at the beginning, convergence is the key. And so it's all about the coming together of anything that is digital. So they must understand the combination and the use of the digital media format, being able to strategically apply their knowledge and skill in doing this, which is something that we try to embed it in our course throughout the time that they study with us. And lastly, use communication and media from both basic level, so starting from interpersonal, intrapersonal, mass, and global level, which is a key to this as well. So these are the expected learning outcome that we expect for them to achieve. So in order to give you a better picture, I think this diagram would illustrate what I've just explained. So basically, when they enter the course, so in the first year, there will be offer the introductory course, which I will show you the structure after this. In which what they do is they will start to remember, they started to learn. It might be something new. They might find it challenging, but that's okay. Because we're there to support them. And it is a very supportive community that we offer to our students. And so we tend to have a very close connection with our students. Students are able to talk to us at all times. We're there to support them on this. So in the first 2 years, what they do is they do the studies, the general subject, as well as the foundation that would allow them to be able to apply the theories that they have learned in order to allow them to understand. So that is in the first 2 years. Once they've done that in the first 2 years, when they enter the second year, they should then at least being able to apply and understand different type of media concepts and theories. So in doing this, the students will be assigned different kind of tasks from, doing an assignment or coming up with plans and doing a kind of research that would allow them to bring out their skill and understanding on this. So once they have done that, when they get to their third year, they need to be able to analyze that. But these are the thing that they would have to do throughout the years anyway. But I think this give us the kind of step-by-step process that allowed us to understand the process that we expect students to achieve. So what we do as well in the third year is the student would have to go and take an internship. So during the third trimester of the third year, that's when they have to apply out. Actually, we have our third year students now who are, interning and working at different places all around Bangkok. And it has been challenging, particularly during this time of pandemic, but they have been doing very well. And the aim of us is to ensure that they survive in this disruptive time of media. And lastly, to mastery all these area of the digitization of media format, they would need to conduct a thesis, which is a requirement for every one of them to do in order for them to graduate. So these are the step-by-step process that we expect the student to learn, and we aim to offer this throughout the time that they study with us. So in order to give you a better picture, this slide basically explained the course structure that we offer at our program. So as you can see, what we offer here is that the first year, it is advisable that the students take the general education courses. And within these, they would also have to take core courses. It may be difficult, but as I say, it would give them a strong foundation that will really prepare them to make a decision when they get to the third year. So in this case, the student will be prepared and will be study all these core subject area, which the students so far have done very well. And once they've done all the core courses and complete all these courses, they'll be able to choose the concentration. So this is what I explained earlier. It is, it is unique, and this is the distinctive feature that we offer, and it is the only international program in Thailand that do this. So we have 3 different areas that we offer. The first one, which is the program, and the second one, which is the creative content, and the newest and the latest one that we recently offered is the media communication. So even though they don't focus on just they can actually make the subject that would really get them to find themselves and what their passion are and what it is that they want to be doing. And this would also give them the kind of experience and know what to expect when they enter the real world media industry. So it is something that has been quite popular, and the students have been able to do this. So what we have here as a major elective course are marketing, acting, directing, writing, as well as cinematography. So in doing this, say for example, student might select to do creative content, but they can also choose to do writing or marketing at the same time. So as you can see, our course is quite diverse, and it gives to students a wide array of choice that would enhance their employability opportunity for the future. And so in doing this, I have a list of the thesis work that I would like to show you later on. So once they've done that and once they've selected that, what they have to do in the third year is to apply for the internship. This is the opportunity that would allow the students to choose what it is that they want to be doing and to find what their passions are and whether or not it is the kind of thing that they expect to be working in a real world environment. So we have the students in all different companies throughout Thailand, and the students have been working very closely with this company, this media company, and it has proven to be very successful because all of them have actually, complete their work successfully. And so once they've done that, and once they complete that in their third year, what they have to do next, which is the final step before they can graduate, is to complete their thesis, in which I have an example of their thesis work here with me as well. So this slide actually shows the evidence from actually last year thesis expedition, in which, as we all know, with the situation of COVID, we've had to move from offline to online. So this is like the idea of the disruptive media environment, which is something that we have been preparing for, and we've been doing for a long time because we focus specifically on the digitization of media format. And so the students was able to use their knowledge and skills to be able to learn this through the use of online content, which were broadcast on Facebook and YouTube. So as you can see here, the impression that we received was massive, and it was proven to be a success for us. The name of the thesis exhibition is called Media Meeting, because at the time it was either between whether they will pass or fail, whether it will be a pass. Meeting, as we know in Thai, is they weren't sure if they were ever going to pass that critical time of the pandemic. And so once they've done that, as you can see, they were able to gain over 4 million impressions with over 11,000 page followers within a short period of time, and able to gain over 200,000 video views, live view, as well as the response that they have received. And so these are the example of the work that the student did last year. So it consists of digital journalism, creative media content that really enabled them to reflect their understanding and their love for media, and that allowed them to create, a very good media product. So, for instance, in this case, we have a project in journalism where we've had a student who went up north and to try to learn about the inequality of education up there, and to be able to tell and illustrate that to the photograph, and to show that narrative of how what it's like up there. And it was very interesting. It is something that they have passions for, something that they've always wanted to do, something that would inspire people as well as the potential students. Okay. And what I would like to also share you as well, because we have another online exhibition that is coming up next month, on July 10th and 11th. So I would like to use this opportunity to introduce to you what the students this year are going to be doing. In the meantime, do you have any question about the program and the course structure that you might want to ask?
I have a few questions, but I'll be asking after your presentation. I'm very excited to see how is it like, your coming up workshop.
ได้ค่ะ so in this case it is again with the situation it will have to be an online exhibition, and it's been online for the last 2 years, although it is online, but it is something that students have been prepared for, and it reflect the diversity and things that are going on at the moment with the changing trend of the media environment. And so the students are able to do quite well on this. So the theme of this is called a museum, in which it gives a sense of feelings that they want to give the inspiration and walk people through the gallery. So think about when you go to the museum, and and you're able to see the different kind of work and gallery. So it's the same thing for this, in which the logline is called "Take a Walk with Me, Dear," and it sounds like "Take a Walk with Me, Dear," but "Take a Walk with Me, Dear," dear in this case is created to give a sense of relatability and connectivity between the students and the audience. So, it's all about inclusion and bringing people together, um, particularly during this kind of pandemic. So, as I said earlier, the event is to be launched between July 10th and 11th. And so the theme of this, there are actually four different categories, which consist of memories, mentality, manifest, and movement. So in this case, altogether, there are 36 projects of all the final year students. 12 are for creative content, 11 of the projects are on journalism, and the rest are on digital marketing. So as you can see, the students are planning to broadcast the short movies, documentary, animation, video documentary, podcast, and travel blog. With a wide variety of the media products that reflect their potential, and the skills that they have learned throughout the 4 years that they have been studying with us. So let's have a look at the memory. Now, this is, I think, is very interesting personally, because it's a kind of product that brings you back to history and past moments, with the intent and aim to give hope. So in this critical time, there is still light, that still gives people hope to bring back something positive to show. So in this case, there are two short movie, one series animation, and one video documentary. And these are an example of the poster of their work. And as you can see by looking at just the image here, it's already interesting, and I really look forward to it. If you would like to know more about the detail, I would advise that you go onto the Facebook page, which I'm going to show you at the end of the slide. The second gallery that we have is the mentality. This is also another interesting kind of work that reflects the human mentality and characteristic that reflect the understanding of the human mind, which in this case is very essential for us to come to understand, because we need to be able to apply human skills before we are able to create the media content. So in this case, again, it consists of a variety of different types of media products. And these are examples of their work. So as you can see here, another naked up, the sometimes for this film and movie which we are going to be showing today. And I think this would really give an idea of the potential and prospective students who may want to join us to really have a look to the kind of work that the senior have been producing, so that they know what they will be learning and what to expect in the role. The third gallery, which is interesting, is the manifest. Now, the manifest is something that aims to broadcast a project that they say is something that people have not seen before. Have not seen before. I like to see it. It is it is the kind of short movie, travel blogs, product brand, YouTube video content, and animation. And so these are an example. Um, and these are an example of the poster that they will be doing. So, for instance, I find this very interesting. My journey, as in as my journey, ใช่ไหมคะ? So I presume that what she's trying to show is her own journey that will showcase the places and the location that people might not seen before, um, and as well as on the project that are showing here, which again is something that is definitely to be looking forward to. And lastly, which is the movement. Now, this movement really reflects the need for us to be all inclusive and to bring us together. It is a project that involves a set of practice that allow the student to bring all the connectivity um, that they have through the connections. So what they do is they aim to bring people in together and to make a connection from, for instance, people that you might not know before. So they come up with an online form of community. Prior to this project of the pandemic, the students had the opportunity to actually go out there and organize the events that really have brought people in together to socialize, to become more connected, to be able to allow them to communicate and keep this community closer, which aim to bring people closer, regardless of who they are and where they're from as well. So we have a list of projects here. An example of this would be in the form of video documentary, YouTube video content, digital magazine, digital campaign, and all. And these are, the posters that the students have created, in which they will show all their work on those July 10th and 11th, which I would really recommend that you all visit the YouTube page and the web page that I will show you later on. So depending on what it is that you are interested in, I think this would really be an opportunity for the audience to explore what the students have been doing here and what they've learned with us over the last 4 years. Now, what I like to also tell you all as well is that on the event day, there will also be talk show with Pipat Okedigo, who will be a guest speaker. Pipat is a creative producer who have been working both behind the scene, and also work closely within the media industry. And so he will come out and share his experience that would really allow the students to learn. We also have Kumbam Pipat, who can be an MC, and during the Q&A section with the senior and learn about their experience. So, you won't be just learning about the program from my perspective today, but this event would also allow you to hear from the students' experience and what they think of the program and what they have learned throughout the year. And so what you can't really miss is that we have several giveaway products. And I have to say that it is a big product that we're going to be giving out. So it is something that cannot miss. And so during this, we also have a music video of the event, and this is one of our students, and Jay, who is a singer and also media influencer. She's a very good singer, and she will be singing the song on the day, and you can also watch the music video of the event. So in order to give you a better picture, I think it'd be good to show you the event trailer, which will really give you an idea of what we'll be doing on the day, as well as after this is the show reel that consists of the work of the students. Okay.
ทำอะไรอยู่คะ
อัพรูปเที่ยวทิพย์อยู่ครับ
แล้วทำไมต้องอัพรูปเที่ยวทิพย์อะคะ
ไม่อยู่บ้านไม่มีอะไรทำเลยอ่ะน่าเบื่อมากเลย
แล้วอยากไปไหนไหมอะคะ
จริงๆก็อยากไปพวกอาร์ตแกลเลอรี่อาร์ตมิวเซียมอะไรพวกนี้ครับ
แล้วได้หาอะไรดูในออนไลน์บ้างหรือยังคะ
ออนไลน์อะไรล่ะไม่มีอะไรจะดูเท่า
รู้จักมิวเซียมไหมคะ
ที่เป็นเหล็กปะ
นั่นอลูมิเนียมค่ะ
ที่เป็นห้างเหรอ
นั่นเอ็มโพเรียมค่ะ
อโพเรียมแน่เลยใช่ไหม
มิวเซียมค่ะ
อ๋อมิวเซียม
จักใช่ไหมคะมิวเซียมคืองานที่รวบรวมความบันเทิงหลากหลายไว้ด้วยกันค่ะไม่ว่าจะเป็นหนัง article journal หรือ product ครบจบในที่เดียวเลยค่ะ
ไม่น่าสนใจอ่ะแล้วดูได้ที่ไหนยังไงเมื่อไหร่อ่ะ
ถ้าสนใจสามารถดูได้ทางช่องทาง Facebook YouTube หรือเว็บไซต์ของเราตามชื่อมิวเซียมเลยค่ะสามารถพบเจอกันได้ในเร็วนี้ในวันที่ 10 ถึง 11 กรกฎาคม ปี 2564 แล้วอย่าลืมมาพบกันนะคะ
ดูในโทรศัพท์ได้ปะ
ดูได้ค่ะ
So these are all our students, and also the next one, which consists of all the example of their work. Okay, and so lastly, this is the platform that they can follow the students' work, which is on YouTube, as well as the website on amazingexhibition.com, as well as the Facebook page, excuse me, which is the museum business exhibition page. On there, you can find out more about all the information about the students' work. And lastly, as you can see, by focusing and giving out 3 different concentrations, there are a wide variety of employment opportunities that would allow students to become documentary maker, editor, producer, writer, marketing, media event organizer, journalist, and so on. So it is definitely something that is interesting. And as I said at the very beginning, is a creative and it's something that the students would really like to do, and I really look forward to welcome the future students to our program. ขอบคุณค่ะ
Wow, that's pretty a lot of information, and I think for students who are highly interested in media and communication program, they are like pretty high dynamic people who love to do projects, coursework, and then bring out their creativity to the work. And if you have any questions to students or parents, please feel free to get in touch with Ajahn. Would you be available, or would you be stand by in the virtual exhibition?
Yes, please, if you have any question, we should have students stand by to be able to answer questions, and I will also be there to answer any question that you might have.
Okay, thank you so much for your day. Thank you so much for today. Thank you for your time. So we have already talked about media and communication program by Ajahn Nunnapan Puathanawat, faculty member of media and communication program. Thank you so much. ขอบคุณค่ะ Thank you so much. So that was it for media and communication, and now it's a time to talk about communication design CDP by Ajahn Ploy. Ajahn Ploy Nikadanont, program director of CDP. And so we have so many things to talk about, so many things to discuss about. If you have any question, please feel free to ask. And สวัสดีค่ะอาจารย์ I'm very excited to hear about what is the communication design is all about. Just now was something about media and communication. This is another level, right? I mean, something that could be related, but what's the difference? What is the program about? Can you just tell me more about it, please?
We do the design, but for the MediaCom, they do the content creators. But we do the design like publication design. We do UI UX design. We do web design, infographic design, or branding design. So this is the difference between us.
Okay. So throughout the 4 years that students will be running with the program, so what is the key highlight? What is the details of the life in MUIC of the studying in the communication design?
For the CDP program, I think student will be in the English environment, and then we offers the class we offers is we not go specific in some areas of communication design, but we want our student to experience in the all areas of communication design. So I think that's the point.
And do you have any presentation or anything to show up?
Yeah, I
Oh.
prepared.
Because there's a call from the interested students, and they want to know more about the details, and also the parents who would like to understand about how they could bring this skill and then bring it to their pathways to career.
Can you see my slides?
Not yet, it's coming.
Loading, I guess.
Wow, it's here.
Wow.
It's coming. Yeah.
Okay. You can see it, right? Because in my screen it's a bit different. It looks like many. Maybe I stop sharing and share it again.
Okay.
Yeah, I can share it again.
Maybe you just lift one up and minimize them all.
Yeah. Okay. Can you see it? Is this okay, Ka? Is this okay?
Yes.
But so sorry. This is not the first slide. Okay. Okay. Can you see?
Let me check for a while.
Because I cannot see myself, so I'm not sure that you see the presentation properly or not.
Okay, it doesn't matter. I believe your content is pretty, packed, and then you have a lot of stuff to say. Yeah.
Okay. I think it's sharing, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So about the communication design at MUIC. So we offer project-based learning approach, which means that we emphasize on the design process, including research, ideations, revisions, and criticism. Most of the I feel a little bit nervous. Most of our major require our studio class, which means that the student working on their project more than interest of taking an examinations. We have only two. For the major require, we have only two lecture class, which is art history and graphic design history. Okay, and then the areas of studies, what you're gonna learn from us. First is the publication design. You learn more about the layout of the book. You learn more about the design process of creating the leaflet, posters, and other publications, and also print productions. And for the design technologies, we have classes offers class new media that offers knowledge about the technologies used in the areas of communication design like AR and VR, and also have the class called digital imaging processes. We teach you more about the program like Photoshop and Illustrators and InDesign. And then for the typography, you learn more about the lettering design and how to arrange or the design in the compositions, how to make it readable and legible. And for the advertising, you learn to develop and you learn more about creations of the advertising campaign and campaign for raise awareness. And for the graphic design, you will learn the design process of creating the packaging, because for the packaging that you see on the shelf in the supermarket or something like that is actually have a very long research or long process that lie behind. So it's not just do some pretty thing for grab attentions of the target audience, but they have to learn more that they have to learn the target audience first, who's the target audience and how to grab the attentions, what they like or what what they're gonna ignore. And then the integrated branding is like you design the identity for the brand. For example, like the archetype of the brand is elegance, and you have to visualize that word elegance. How to make the brand look elegant. You have to visualize it. You create the logo and corporate identities. And for the infographic and information graphic, in this part, you will have to learn to design the graphic for providing information. Sometimes the information is not just a long message. It's not just a short message or sentence or short story, but it's the complicated research or it's the long stories or report or something that relate to medical area. Like as you can see nowadays, there are a lot of infographic posters telling you how to behave or what to do during how to make yourself safe during the pandemic of COVID-19. And for the digital motion, digital and motion graphic, we offer a class about animations and films. We do stop motions as well. And then environmental graphic is you will learn to design the graphic used in particular area, like for example, airport, department store, or theme park. And for the online communication, like UI UX, which is quite popular nowadays, so you learn to design the applications. Like UI designers is the one who working on the look and feels of the applications, and then the UX is the one who deal with the experience of the users, like in terms of usage, like scroll up and down is better than swipe left and right or not, or which gonna suit the target audience the most. So the designer have to think about it. So this is the areas of study that you will have to do when you here with us, Naka. And then about the career opportunities, after complete our course, you will have the opportunities to working on these three major areas. It's like branding, advertising, graphic design, and online communications. If you Google that what kind of job can be replaced by the AI, and creative job is one of that. So if you're working in the areas of communication design, it will be hard to be replaced by the AI. This digital disruption can't do anything. Okay, and then this is our curriculum. It totals 174 credits, and you will have to take 38 for the general educations, and then major required course 104 credits. You have to take 20 credit for iDesign and 4 credit for major elective and 8 credit for free elective. And then, so this is the teaching plan in the first year. You will, let's say the first 3 terms, you will have to take this course, which is the basic foundations for the communication design student. All the skill you need will be here. You have to take. And then when you are the second year student, you will start to take the basic design course. The basic knowledge about the design will be teach. You will take 3 terms for study or this class, and then third year will be the times for the advanced design courses, and fourth year, when you are the fourth year student, is a time for the thesis project. In the first term, you will start to do a research in order to find out what topic you interest and it will become your thesis project. And then in the second term, you start to decide it, and the last term will be the production part. And we also have a class like portfolio development and exhibition planner. In the portfolio class, we will get you ready. We help you creating your portfolios and CV, get you ready for applying for the job and for the exhibition planning. So you will have to showcase your thesis project. So we're working on the thesis exhibition. And then you will have to take like a major elective, iDesign, and Janet, as you see here. Okay, so this is an example of our thesis project from last year. So you can scan the QR code to see there will be variety type of work. Last year thesis project called CDP 10,001. So we have some students come up with the idea like creating the book, or some have the advertising campaign, and some creating toys. So you can check it out in this website. And then I'm gonna explain a bit more about iDesign. iDesign is a minors offered by any program in MUIC and certificate offered by any program in MUIC. And or the MUIC student have to take 20 credits of iDesign. So basically every department will put some class into iDesign basket. So student will be free to choose the class that they interest. So, but sometimes to make it easy for the students, so we kind of have track for them. We pack some class together like this, the new media, infographic, online cultures, and applications. So if you take the pack, if you take these 3, it will be 12 credit, and then you got the certificates. But if it's 20 credit by class, it will be the minors. So CDP offers 5 certificates, which are UI in practice, international design experience, creative illustration, integrate advertising design, and 2D animation. And for the minors, we offer creative animations and film art, but it doesn't mean that CDP students have to take CDP's minors or certificate. Students can choose minor and certificates or others in design course that they interest from other departments. Okay, and a bit about our facilities. This is the drawing and painting studios. The class like drawings, ICCD 112 drawing studio conduct in this class, and the space of the rooms equipped with the easels, still life object, and sometimes we have the live model come and pose for the student to draw. We also have critique board in front in the room. So before the class finish, students will put all their work on the board for group discussion and critique. Okay, and then this is the Creative Foundation Workshop. It's located in B1 floor at the Triathlon building. So in the rooms, we have the basic hand tool for the student. Student can do woodworking, printmaking, and bookbinding in this room. Okay, and this is the Creative Studio rooms. Most of the major required courses conducts in this class, in this room. We got 4 rooms. Okay, and this is the lab production studio. This room is resource and facilities for students multimedia projects, including film and animation production. The class like new medias or animation and film art will use this room. And then this is the Mac lab. And we also have the printing stations for the student. We have printer and scanners. High resolution laser printers for the student to print their work. And then in the co-working space, in these tables, we got the mini TCDC for the CDP student. Mini TCDC is the online database of various type of creative areas around the world. So it's very useful for the communication design student. Okay, and then this is the garrison and student activity space. So student can host their activities and showcase their work in this space. And then if you need more information about CDP, you can scan the QR code on the left-hand side. And then if you have questions about portfolios and need more details, you can scan the QR code on the right-hand side. Okay, that's all my presentation. Sorry, I cannot hear you.
Could you hear me now?
Yes, yes.
I have a few questions because we have a few minutes left. In regards to this communication design, So it's more likely like a coursework base more than an exam. Am I right? So
Yes.
you're grooming them to be able to work in the real life and be able to even get a part-time job at the same time.
Yes, Kai. Yes, many some students they either freelance or like working as a freelance graphic designers. Ka.
Oh, very nice. And what's the rate of graduation, kind of like a career that they were recruited?
Ka.
I mean, how many percent of them went to which type of the market, the industry, the profession type?
Okay, lately things has changed a little bit. From the student who graduated in 2020, which is last year, mostly they were working in the online communications design areas. But the student that graduated 5 years ago, they're working like a graphic designers, art director, or something like that more.
Oh, okay, I see. And
So,
and in each of the class, how big is it?
so thanks for the question, Kai. I think this is a very good question. So we try not to have more than 20 students in class. So we keep the small class size because we are project-based learning approach. So to have a small class size, teachers and students can, work closely, and the instructor can take care of the student thoroughly. Ka.
And when we talked about the faculty members, lecturers who'll be mentoring them, teaching them, so I believe the portfolio or the profile of the lecturer are not just ordinary. Can you just share, like, how special are the faculty members, or how special are the lecturers who will be teaching the kids?
You mean the faculty members here?
Yeah.
Okay.
For me, if I'll be studying in something which is really great, I would love to know, like, am I studying with the cool people, because you're dealing with designs, right?
Yeah. We got Ajahn Dao, like Dr. Dainaya. So Ajahn Dao she's a she specialized in the infographic and environmental graphic. She's also do typography.
Environmental graphic.
Environmental graphic is the graphic designed for use in a specific place, in a particular place. For example, Ajahn Dao designed her PhD thesis. She designed the signage system for Sirirat Payabal. Because you may think that, okay, it's just a signage, right? But signage like explains many things. We have to make sure that all the patients in the who came to the hospitals, like when they see the signage, they know where to go. They know, like, okay, for example, you're gonna go to the cancer ward or something like that. You have to go left or right. You're gonna take your medicine. You have to go in which floor you have to and then to make all the people understand the same things is kind of hard. You have to do a lot of research. You have to know their behaviors. They have to know that some people can't read. Some people, like some, and especially the elder group, the inclusive, sometimes doesn't mean like they cannot read, but their eyesight maybe is not very, like they have to wear glasses, or sometimes it's hard for them to know where to go. But the signage system will help, and then you have to design the signage system that everyone understands. Normally, when we design only one target audience, it's hard already. But this, you have to design for everyone. So I think this is like a very cool project. And then we got Mr. Dale. We got like assistant Professor Dale. Like he's like have a very interesting combination, because he's a graphic designer and he also being a painter, and he's an art historian as well. So yeah, he teaches art history and graphic design history. So Ajahn Dale, like walking libraries, like when we talk about history, like he know every single things, and like
walking library.
He's the walking libraries, and sometimes when and this is very useful, like both for the for the college and the student, because sometimes when we discuss on the art and design or something like that, Mr. Dales have every
Definitions,
single detail,
explanations.
explanation, details and stories. So he can remember like everything is in his head, his brain. So it's like amazing person. And then we got Ajahn Norachai. He specialized in advertising. He's working with the advertising agency before, so a lot of like real life experience on advertising. And then we got Miss Carol. Miss Carol teaches the class like 3-dimensional design principles. So she's a sculptor. So she know like she familiar with the woodworkings, and like sometimes the basic hand tools that I show, only Ajahn Carol know how to use it, and then she teach the student how to use it, and the student very enjoys and love her class. And the last one is me. I'm working as an illustrator before I become a full-time teacher here.
Wow. Can I join? Is it too late for me? I feel like, standing with you, and I feel like talking to walking library teacher too. Thank you so much for your time. And I believe you'll be staying in the virtual exhibition as well. You'll be creating a dynamic and, something really vibrant to Thailand. And thanks for sharing. Thank you so much to Ajahn Ploy Nikadanont, the communication design, a director of communication design. Thanks for your time. Thank you.
Thank you too.
All right. Wow, that was really great. A design is something that you cannot really, cannot miss. And now it's the time to hear something interesting too, a very interesting topic that will be moving forward in the topic of international relations and global affairs, or we have a small abbreviation that is IRGA. So let's welcome Ajahn William J. Jones, Program Director of International Relations and Global Affairs. สวัสดีค่ะ
Hello.
Hello, how are you?
I'm great. How are you?
I'm good. You're working at home? Working from home?
Yes, it's COVID.
Yes, it's COVID. It's going on, COVID. Yeah. Okay, so a lot of students are waiting to hear from you. Can you just share about international relations and global affairs?
Sure, I have a short presentation.
Wow, that's cool.
1 second. Okay, can you see this?
It's coming up. Wow, it's here. Thank you. I'm ready.
Okay. So the International Relations and Global Affairs major has a total of 158 credits. We have designed this to be more or less a 3.5-year program. The structure is, as you can see, general education courses. This is a module where students for their first 2 terms at MUIC are doing basic foundational courses in English and other electives as they choose. Right afterwards, in term 3, they can begin their major core courses in Introduction to International Relations. After this, it's 52 credits for the core major and 60 credits of major electives, followed by 2 courses at 8 credits of free electives that they can take from any division at MUIC. A strong part about this program being 3.5 years, and since it is international relations, there is an opportunity for students to graduate with a major and a minor in the same time that it takes other divisions or other majors to complete just a major. And we do indeed encourage our students to engage in a minor. specifically a second language, marketing, psychology, so that they can increase the strength and flexibility of their degree. The program itself allows students a great degree of flexibility in terms of where they would like to focus or even mix and match their studies. They can take courses relating to international politics directly, which generally speaking would have a focus on courses in diplomacy, security studies, human rights, global media, democracy and regionalism, or they can also mix this with the softer side of international relations, things such as cultural studies, ethnicity, political Islam, nationalism, studies in religion, and then mix this with their backgrounds that they may take from diplomacy or security studies as well. In the final term at MUIC, in our major, we have designed 2 tracks for students, a practical track of an internship off campus. Students can choose an intern provider on their own if they so wish, or they can also enlist the help of the division, who has a number of partners from UNDP to UNSCAP, Ministry of Foreign Affairs, as well as other ministries and other nonprofits. These are students who may be more interested in getting direct job experience and entering the job market immediately after their studies. We also have a senior thesis track where students would study with a supervisor of their choosing for 1 full term and produce an original piece of research. This is largely for students who would not necessarily want to enter into the job market immediately, but instead have a focus on going to graduate school to pursue a master's, and then, of course, if they wish, a PhD afterwards. One of the strong parts of MUIC is our international relations department, not the major, but the department, who has been very busy over the years in building relationships with partner universities all around the world. And given that we are an international relations major and program, we do encourage our students to leave Thailand, study abroad, use perhaps the second language that they've learned in their minor, and build relationships overseas for either 1 term or up to 1 year. We strongly sort of emphasize and want our students to broaden their experience in the 3 or 4 years that they are with us. There are a few unique features of this program. Firstly, it is very, very flexible. It allows students to choose and mix and match studies which are to their interest. There is no top-down structure to say, if you begin to choose this class or this class, then you have to choose, these other 4 or 5 or 6 courses afterwards, but instead allows students to pursue their interests, pursue their passions, and find themselves academically. Second, we do offer internships as part of our degree program, where students can either choose, of course, the academic track of a senior thesis, but given the changing nature of the world we live in, we definitely encourage students to find that job experience and get out there, sort of dip their toes, if you will, to learn about sort of the job world. We have a number of partner institutions, a few of which are with the United Nations, the United Nations Development Program, UNSCAP here in Bangkok, Save the Children, also media organizations such as Thomson Reuters, and many non-governmental and international non-governmental organizations. I mean, we continue to build more every day. Last but not least, there are quite a few courses in our program that are quite unique, quite special, that are taught by practitioners, people that have actually done it, or studied it in depth, that you simply will not find in other bachelor degree programs that offer an international relations degree. A few of these, as you can see, political risk, the intersection with business and international relations, the practice of diplomacy, how to actually do it. We have a high-ranking Ministry of Foreign Affairs official who teaches this course, who actually engages in diplomacy every day. Public diplomacy and nation branding, the intersection of the state and marketing and business. Other courses such as political Islam, authoritarian populism, and perhaps our most unique course, a required course, the creative job search, taught by an outside practitioner, not an academic. This is a very unique course. Our division, our major, has realized that it ought to be our responsibility to help students as much as we can to increase their ability to find a job afterwards. So this is a course where you learn how to do different types of CVs for different types of jobs, pictures, online profiles, online networking, how to find a job using the big search engines such as Glassdoor, to tailor your interest and also your strengths as well, personal branding, and a number of other unique and rather interesting dimensions to help our students as much as possible to find a job after they have completed their studies. Yeah.
Wow. I have a few questions, like in regards to students who have been graduated from this international relation and global affairs, the rate of type of jobs that they pursue. So are they more likely to work in a nonprofit organization, in something that's related to United Nations, or which direction do students choose to go? Do they know since they were studying in MUIC, or they were mentored by faculty members, to just groom them to what they like? What is in there?
Yeah, that's a good question. Intuitively, you would think that if you finish this major, you would automatically go work for some government ministry or some nonprofit NGO, something like such. And a number of our graduates have. The International Red Cross, Amnesty International, International Commission of Jurists, different agencies within the UN, both here in Thailand and overseas. But if you look at our graduates, it's very diverse. Some have gone on to be pilots, work in the oil and gas industry with Bangja and Botatol, hotels, even banks, Standard Charter. So it's very diverse. And I think this actually lends to the type of education that we emphasize in terms of skill building, both sort of the hard skills of sort of essay writing and then sort of condensing work down. Because, if you go into the private sector, your supervisor doesn't want a 20-page essay. They want the essay condensed down into 1 page that they can make a decision on. But then also the soft skills of critical thinking, oral communication, group work, working individually, working with other people, small group projects, to find information, research, analyze it, and then present it. I think this allows for that diversity that our students engage in terms of work after they leave us.
And I believe in terms of international relations and global affairs, it's not just about working in specific field. It's pretty broad, and it depends on how would you adapt to these different kind of things. Are there like students who graduated and do their own business? Are they using this knowledge to do the market expansion? The way they could deal or involve with the customer, which is like B2G. And something like that, right? So how they carry it out to the business side?
Actually, we have not a lot, but a few graduates who have gone on to establish quite successful businesses, not just in franchising, but also importing and exporting. For instance, a graduate by the name of Johnny Ho, actually, he's responsible for this, the craze of cha nom kai muk. Actually,
Dakashi,
because he's actually Taiwanese but Canadian. In his time spent in Canada, he got in touch with a franchisor up there, and actually was the first person to bring bubble tea as a franchise into Thailand. We also have another graduate who is, oddly enough, importing and exporting rice farming equipment from into Thailand. So yeah, it's not just
it's about understanding, geographically, people in different areas and how you will get in touch, in different ways. And also in terms of, I think it's a coming trend. I think it's been a while, like big firms like Nike, Adidas, or anything like, big firm, multinational, they have been dealing with something like CSR, the way they could communicate with the public. Is international relations and global affairs has something to do with the current trend playing now at the moment?
In terms of CSR, perhaps not directly, but the field itself lends to this. This kind of the emphasis on the intersection between business, people, the environment, how to communicate, diplomacy and negotiation, interesting aspects of culture and how that impacts business relations, investment climates, trade relations, etc. For sure, sort of the softer side that impacts perhaps from underneath. Speaking of CSR, actually, we have a graduate working in CSR actually at I said Bangja.
Yeah. I think this is more like a gimmick, to work with big firms, because they're selling by not selling it. the way they communicate, the way they engage with people. And I have a very good question to ask on behalf of the students. What is your expectations in recruitment for students who will be coming into this program?
Number one, to have good English communication skills, both in reading, writing, and of course speaking. Speaking perhaps a little less, we can work on this, but you need to be able to read and write English effectively, be motivated, be outgoing, be willing to engage with other people, exchange ideas, exchange thoughts, be ready to challenge yourself and evolve over time.
You mentioned challenge. What's the challenge in studying with you, being your student?
The challenge, I suppose, would be just the daily grind of being a student. I can vaguely remember what it was like, sort of deadlines, different types of projects, working with different people, some of which and are very agreeable, some of which perhaps are a little bit disagreeable, but just having to work through it, and just that kind of the process of maturing, I suppose. Yeah, that would be the biggest challenge, I suppose.
And for students who are interested in this program, do they need to have experience, in traveling, and do they have to have a plan in, working abroad or anything?
No, definitely not. And in fact, I think that's one of our well, not just us, but I think MUIC in general. We have a diverse faculty of Thai lecturers, foreign lecturers from different areas of the world, but then also the kind of international atmosphere that MUIC has. Before COVID, we would have between 300 and I think 500 foreign inbound exchange students. So there's that diversity in the classroom. And then, of course, there's so many opportunities for students to study abroad while they're with us.
Exchange program like that?
Yes, for sure. We have many students who go to Australia, Britain, Japan, and we're building more links in South Korea, China. It's kind of a bigger emphasis on East Asia. I think this is really one of the strengths.
Wow, that's really great. And you'll also be in the virtual exhibition as well, right?
I'm sorry?
So, for students who attended MUIC Virtual Open Days, from 24th to 26th, once they register, they also receive a link to get into the virtual exhibitions. So in each of the program, faculty members, lecturers will be there to answer the questions. Yeah. So you'll be there too to answer the questions too, right? Okay, and there'll be alumni, there'll be faculty members, they'll be explaining stuff. Would you like to wrap up with the understanding of international relations and global affairs to the parents who might not really know much about what their kids gonna study?
Sure. In a nutshell, international relations and global affairs stands as this point where politics, economics, trade, culture, religion, where they intersect and meet, and it really lends itself to building a flexible base for an increasingly globalized world. And MUIC is the perfect place to build on that. Whether you want your child to study abroad in a very good master's program, our graduates have gone on to extremely prestigious universities, or if you want them to gain the skills and knowledge and capabilities possible to move from place to place, job to job, different job types, and not just get stuck in one particular field. This is the perfect place to do it.
Wow. Really great. So thank you so much for your time. So we have already discussed about international relations and global affairs. So if you have any questions, any students or parents, you are feel free to ask. So Ajahn Villain will be answering you all the questions, right? Yeah, for sure. And thank you so much for your time. Okay, we're looking forward to see you in the virtual exhibition.
Absolutely, I appreciate it. Thank you.
ค่ะสวัสดีค่ะ Okay, and that was about international relation. So, we have discussed about so many things, and we have a next topic too. But before we get into the intercultural studies and language, let me give you a few informations about MUIC Virtual Open Day 2021. We have started this event since 24 until this is the last day, 26. Do not forget, all the students, please go and register in the ZIP event. And once you register, you'll get a link into the virtual exhibition. And we have something really special for you. We have waived the application fee. If it's free for you, why not? So we have waived the application fee. Once you registered into the virtual open days, and you also fill all the information ready, submit all the documents, and do not forget to capture that as an evidence and send it to our LAN application. So how do you add us as a friend? Do not forget to type @MUIC and friend. So that was it. You'll be waived with the application fee. And not more, we got something more. And for students who have already registered, we'll also receive an e-certificate and also this teddy bear, hala. So this is something special that you'll be received. It's Mahidol University International College bear, during work from home time. I think we need something to hug at home and do some online courses. And not only that, I have more information to tell. The application period started from June 28 until July 12, 2021. So do not forget, okay? If you want to receive free application fees, you will be waived. Do not forget to register within 24 to 26. And if you want to get this bear, just do according to the process that I mentioned. Okay. Hi, and now you are with us with about like 200 viewers, am I right? And I think you might be ready to hear something special about intercultural studies and language. I'm not sure if the lecturers are ready, but I think they are ready. Okay, let me talk to you more a bit about, let me wrap up a bit. We have some more times. Let me go through, because we got about 3 minutes to go to the next topic. So we have been already run through 10 o'clock in the morning. We have been talking about media and communication by Ajahn Nunnapan. And after that, it was communication design. And just now was international relation and global affairs. And next will be intercultural studies. And during the afternoon session will be preparation center and mathematics. Wow. If you're highly interested in any field, do not forget, stay tuned and then log into the ZIP event and go to the virtual exhibition to get more information. But if we get back to the 2 days we have been doing this virtual open day, on the 24th, it was a business day. So you have been listening to Ajahn from marketing field, from business field. And yesterday was something really exciting too. It was about science. And science was about applied mathematics, biological science, was about physics, was about chemistry, and was about, and also computer engineering and computer science, right? There's something new again, okay? In the afternoon time, we have got a guest speaker too. So there'll be an exclusive talk. So let's hear from our students and alumni. So if you have any questions, please feel free to ask. And there'll be a networking sessions. We got a guest. We got about 3 guests. Wow, fantastic. And we got a preparation center for language and mathematics by Ajahn Mark Manning as well. Wow, I can't wait to hear this anymore. So that was about today. That's something's coming up in the afternoon sessions. Okay, before we get into the next topic, you're here with us at MUIC Mahidol University International College official Facebook fan page, or you might be watching us through YouTube or through Zip even. So, so just let us know, where you are listening to this from. Okay. And I believe, it's a time to hear about intercultural studies and language. So we got two Ajahns ready to talk about this topic. Let's welcome Dr. Juan, Director of ICIC, and also we have Ajahn Barbara Akam will be with us today. Sawadee
Hello, good morning. This is Ajahn Juan, this is my colleague Ajahn Barbara.
Okay, so you're separated with that shield.
Well, we're actually in the same room, but in completely different
social distancing.
Okay,
so
that's why we're wearing any masks.
Okay.
Right.
Okay. Let's get started with what is it like.
Okay. Now. Okay. Well, let me start. I'm going to introduce. Okay, what we call. Let me think. Can I move this? I'm trying to. Okay. Can you bear with me for a minute, because this is not going the way it's meant to be going, which is, so there's a small technical problem. Luckily, I've got technicians here. Can you please help me with this slide? I'm really sorry about this. We practiced before and it was okay.
No problem. Actually, this is the only discussion and talk that we have two Ajahns together. Okay. Right, because I have been talking to only each of Ajahn, and today we have this topic we got two Ajahn. So let's talk about how this actually works.
Sorry, I'm trying to work out how to slide the PPT. I've got some technical help here.
Hi, Ajahn Barbara, how are you?
I'm fine.
Can you speak a little bit? Oh, yes. Your voice is very fresh.
I'll try to. Let's see what that works.
Wow, it will be great. I have very little knowledge. I have really little knowledge about intercultural studies and language.
So what do you want to know?
To know more. So many things I want to know more.
Okay.
If I'm a student or I'm a parent. Are you ready?
Okay. Yeah, we're ready.
I think we are ready. Slightly different from what I expected, but you know what? That's no problem at all whatsoever. Okay, to begin with, those who are listening to, thank you. You are absolutely wonderful. You're so optimistic and full of life. Thank you very much. Okay, to begin with, to the audience who is listening to us, me and Ajahn Barbara, welcome to Intercultural Studies and Languages, otherwise known as ICIC. I wanted to slide this, but I'm going to do this in a more rudimentary way, and that makes us original. So let's put it that way. Okay, right. The very first thing you need to know is how the program is structured. Okay, so when you encounter ICIC, you will notice you have three options. It's a bit of a kind of buffet menu thing. You will see that as we go through the course, you have many menus, many buffets. So basically a lot to choose from to accommodate the things you like, the things you are more interested in, okay? Right, so to begin with, a really, really important thing, you have three concentrations and you have to choose only one. I'm saying this because in the past, some of you said, not you guys, but in the past, other students, somebody said, oh, can I do all three concentrations? And that is absolutely impossible. Well, it is impossible in 3 or 4 years, okay? So concentration number one, okay, is foreign language and culture. Obviously, the main focus is foreign languages. More about this, a lot more actually about this later on. The second concentration is called literary and cultural studies. So obviously a lot of reading, a lot of literature, and the last one, which my colleague is created as well. It's called Ethics, Philosophy, and Economics. Notice that normally we refer to these concentrations by their initials, FLC, LCS, and EPE, just because it is faster. Okay, so hopefully I'm gonna go really slowly because I don't want to lose you. There are many things going on, and I want you to understand, what is going on. Okay, to begin with, notice you need to reach at the very end of the 3 or 4 years you'll stay with us a total of at least 166 credits. You can do more if you want, but that's the bare minimum. Okay, if you want to do more, fine, by all means. We are not going to limit you. On the contrary, we want to exploit your talent. Okay, so anyway, look at the distribution of these credits. To begin with, from GE courses, a total of 38, again, minimum. Core courses, all this I'm going to explain later on, in detail. So, hopefully you will know what I'm talking about. Okay, so from the compulsory courses, core courses, 40. Okay, now each one of the 3 concentrations has a particular number of compulsory courses. Okay, so concentration courses, 60. Okay, now you have heard before from other divisions about ID design electives, iDesign electives. Okay, so a bit more of that here. And lastly, we have 8 credits for the free electives. Okay, now moving on. Core, ideally, I had this in a rolling, slide, so you would see this one by one of this information rather than all at the same time. But anyway, that's the way things are. The core courses, no matter what concentration you choose, you have to do these 10 courses. Okay, it doesn't matter if you do languages or ethics or English. It doesn't really matter. All of you have to do this. Okay. So this will give you a comprehensive view of different disciplines. Okay, so you have cultural studies, centered on contemporary Southeast Asia, formal reasoning, value studies, history of ideas 1 and 2, ethics and media, quite interesting as well, especially nowadays, I would say. The evolutionary origins of language and culture, not bad at all. Language, human essence, which is basically linguistics. Okay, and then intercultural communication. Now, there is a 10th one which you don't have to do until the very end of your degree here. So not in your first year, not in your second year, probably in your 4th year, which means you have already done many subjects, many courses, and you're fully ready to do a very nice research project. Okay, but before you can do that, you have to know many things, okay, to make it really professional. Okay, moving on. Okay, now in each concentration, these are the core courses. Now let's go for the courses per concentration. So this is another, menu. Okay, in each concentration, in each one of the 3 concentrations, there are a number of required courses, and also there are a number of elective courses. Okay, so the required courses, obviously, you have to do. Okay, so in foreign languages, there are only 2, and in literary and cultural studies, there are 5, and the same for ethics, philosophy, and economics. Okay, notice I've jotted down the number of credits, per number of courses you have to do, so you can keep track, so you can keep on add up, just to make sure that when you graduate, you have all the credits you need. Okay, now let's have a look at the required courses first, and then we'll move on to the elective courses. Okay, give me a second. Okay, here we are. Okay, for foreign languages, there are only 2. Okay, comparative literature and civilization, okay, and also the independent final project. Again, this will have to be done in the 4th year. Okay, so not too bad for foreign languages. More on them later on. Now, for literary and cultural studies, look, these are the 5 required courses you need to do. Okay, thinking the others about literature, okay, and this is followed by post-colonialism, diverse English-speaking cultures as well. Okay, comparative literature and civilization, the same as in foreign languages. Also women and gender studies, and once again, another project in the 4th year. So quite a lot going on here. In EPE, ethics, philosophy, and economics, these are the ones you have: judgment and decision making. Ethics and politics, another one quite interesting. Philosophy of economics, behavioral economics, and a research seminar. Okay. Now, important piece of advice. Now, like any advice, you can take it or leave it. It's up to you. But I think we know better. We have been doing this for a number of years, and we want the best for you. So look, we advise you to start with GE courses and core courses and the required courses. Why? All these courses, they're not offered every single trimester. So basically, if you're in your 4th year and you need to do a core course and it's not offered, because these courses, they're not offered every single trimester. We don't have enough people to teach all the courses all the time. That's actually impossible. Okay, so in order to avoid problems, with graduation, you have to be delayed. In order to avoid that, the sooner you do all these 3 groups, GE, core, and required, all the better. Okay, notice the core courses, they used to be offered only once a year. Now, because we have more and more demand, now they're offered twice a year, just to give you more leeway, to make it easier for you. Okay, so as you can see, we try to accommodate you as much as possible. Okay, just to avoid any problems. Okay, so that's it on the required courses and the core courses. Let's move on to the elective courses. Look, okay, now this is a big chunk of all the credits you need to acquire. So 60 credits. Okay, now if you want to do a foreign language, okay, we have 11 trimesters of, could be Spanish, could be French. I'll show you later on the list of the 5 languages we do have here. But you need to start from trimester 1, okay, with your chosen language. A language you don't know anything about, so you have to be a complete or nearly complete beginner, okay? And then you have to do, in the first trimester, the first language course, in the second trimester, the second, and then and so on and so forth until 11. With that, you get the major, okay? Now, for literary and cultural studies and EPE, ethics and philosophy and economics, okay, you have 10 elective courses, of which you have to choose 6, okay? And you need other 4, but you can choose these 4 from any other concentration you want. So, this is where we give you freedom of choice. Now, these are the 5 foreign languages we offer at HLD and MUIC: Chinese, French, German, Japanese, and Spanish. Okay. Now, let's say, just for the sake of simplicity, your chosen language, let's call it target language, TL. Okay, Chinese, French, your target, the one you're interested in. So in the first year, you do what we call elementary, 1, 2, and 3, first trimester, second trimester, third trimester. That's the completion of your first year. Okay, the second year, you do what we call pre-intermediate, 1, 2, and 3. Moving on, intermediate, 1, 2, and 3 in your third year, and lastly, 2 more in your last year. Okay, so eventually you have 44 credits from the languages. Okay, let me show you an example. And this is chronologically correct now. So starting from September, okay, you can look at this: elementary French 1, 2, and 3. And then by the end of July, you have done the first year, okay? And then the next academic year, you can do pre-intermediate. I'm sure you can see the logic. It's very simple now. Okay, and look, if by April 2025, you finish the last course. Now, you want to finish a bit early, you can, okay? Why? Because we also have summer courses, okay? Now, before the coronavirus, okay, obviously we encouraged every summer, every August, basically, for students to go to China or Spain or France, and they can do basically 1 trimester in a month. It's an intensive course, okay? So you go away for a month, you do a course, maybe you stay with a family, and then you come back, and then you can transfer the credits. Basically, you have done 3 months in one, okay? So you can do that. You can go abroad also at Mahidol University, we have intensive courses in here. So also you can do 3 months in 1 month, okay? Also in Bangkok, we have, partner institutions which offer equivalent courses to the ones we offer here. So again, that's another option for you, to, try to graduate a bit earlier, should you want to do so, okay? Now, elective courses, okay, in the second concentration, okay? Notice we have literary and poetry in Western and Eastern culture. Notice this, of these, you have to choose only 6, not all of them, okay? We have the intro to Eastern and Western art as well, literary theory and criticism, diasporic literature, popular culture, narratives, nations and nationalisms, language, power and culture, humanity today between science and fiction. That sounds interesting, doesn't it? And the history of English. Okay, now from EPE, okay, these are the 10 courses you can choose from Minds and Machines. Okay, I'm going to read the brown ones because the reds, they belong to a different faculty. Okay, so I'm going to concentrate on the ones we offer here. Okay, Minds and Machines, from modernism to postmodernism, reason and passion, the philosophy of emotion, philosophy and religion, behavior, ethics and technology, information, knowledge and representation. Okay. On top of this, we have a couple of new courses that have been very recently approved, and they will be offered very soon, actually, this coming academic year. Okay. So now you know about the iDesign courses because they have been mentioned in other presentations before. Basically, you have so much freedom, okay, that you might actually get lost. That's why all the students, when they start studying at MUIC, we allocate an advisor, a professional adjunct here, whose responsibility is, advise you, in case you get lost, this advisor can say, well, maybe not this way, maybe you should go that way. Okay, yes, basically to orient you in the right direction for you. This is very much personalized. Okay, so you need 20 credits from iDesign, okay, which can be from any minor course from MUIC. We have certificate courses offered in any MUIC program, any major courses from MUIC. Look, I mean, this is massive. And also, now for 4 and 5, you need official permission, okay? But any major, okay, offer in MU Mahidol, the whole of Mahidol University, not just MUIC. So notice this opens many doors, okay? And also the last option, any major courses offered at partner institutions, okay, who have an MOU, some kind of agreement with Mahidol University, okay? Now, what are free elective courses? These are courses offered as free electives by MUIC or MU, okay, but again, you need the approval, from your advisor, okay? By now, you thought that's everything? No, there is more. So what else can we offer? Give me a second, I can roll down these slides. Okay, right. We have minor courses, okay? So you must be thinking, what? What are those? Okay, so, okay, these are courses offered, to all students, at MUIC. Okay, if you want extra credits, you can do this as well. In what way are they different from the majors? Look, okay, so you can do a minor in foreign languages, which is 5, okay? You have 5 courses, okay? And notice it's the last 5, the highest levels from intermediate to advanced, okay? By the way, I've just been told I've got 2 minutes left, so I'm gonna speed up a little bit. Okay, we have something called minor in critical culture literacy. Again, where you have 20 credits. Again, you only need to choose, okay, 5 of these, not all of them, okay. And then minor in applied ethics, behavioral analysis, and social engineering. You have a number of required courses, Okay, and then you have a number of elective courses. You only need to choose 3 from these. Okay, 1 minute left. So, a couple of things. Human and artificial intelligence, that's an interesting minor you might be interested in, especially nowadays. Again, minds and machines information. Notice many of these courses are from, mentioned before, but in a different context. Okay, so these are all the options that you have. Okay, and this was meant to be a guessing game, but once you graduate, look, these are the kind of jobs you can apply for. These are the fields: journalism, diplomacy. You can be a professor. You can work in an NGO, travel industry. When in the future we can travel again. So as you can see, we have many, many possibilities. Okay, and with this, I'm going to end my presentation. And if you come to ICIC, I hope you enjoy doing the major. Thank you very much indeed for your attention. And this is my time up. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much. I have a question. Since you have so many languages to study, and what are the, for the past 5 years, and what's the current trend, what the students choose to study? What's the future thing that they're looking forward to?
Yeah. Okay, in terms of languages, I mean, they're always very popular, especially Chinese is very popular, Spanish is very popular, German as well, Japanese is very popular. German, I mean, basically all the languages, let me put it this way. Most of the students who do ICIC, many of them, they choose foreign languages, the concentration. Okay, as my colleague Barbara can testify. Why? Well, the thing is, our students, they are already at least bilingual, English and Thai, obviously, and many of them, they want to expand their horizons. They want to travel abroad. They want to work abroad. Some of them, they want to live abroad as well. So basically, they don't want to limit themselves to Thailand. They want to explore the world. As somebody said before, we live in an increasingly globalized world, and they want to take advantage of this. And obviously, we can provide the tools, for them to explore the world. So basically, it's an investment in their future.
And you have been talking about all the philosophy, studies and everything.
Yeah.
Could you, for Ajahn Barbara, I just want to talk to you too.
Yes.
Could you emphasize more about the topic that you have been teaching, or, the things that you would like to mention about your studies at the moment?
Okay. I mean, the main thing when I created the program, I wanted a global picture, not only business or only marketing or social. They need a view of the world. They have social science, they need natural science, a background to it, they need the history, and they need to ask questions they never asked for themselves. What thinking is, what liberal is, what freedom is, why they move the way they move, and what they want in life, not only for business related one. Why the life we're living in is the way it is, and we can change it. So I think for 4 years we have time, really time to think things through. So that's the main thing. And of course, I was a little bit biased. The only thing I really wanted ethics, philosophy, and economics, because I studied when I was young, and I studied Chinese as well, and I thought it's a better view of the world. So studying philosophy in details, Eastern and Western, have a background for mind and machine, how things work, how influences us, what behaviorism is, what in statistic is, things students maybe never know, and they sometimes are afraid of. And with this background, they grow. That's a little bit of everything, basically.
Correct.
I think so.
And what is the challenge in combining languages together, philosophical studies together, and so many things together within your courses?
Well, I mean, when we started with GE, for example, I had to take logic, for example. They were always afraid. And then they learn a little bit, and they understand it, and they apply it. I mean, sometimes we need to be pushed a little bit to think things through, even though they don't want it. And afterwards I say, well, it's a good decision I know more about the world in looking forward, and they know already in the future they do not have a job for 10 years or 20 years. They always have to learn more and do its background. If they have to interview, for example, for jobs, and they only ask question like this.
Okay. And in regards to the intercultural studies and language, can you take business as a minor? Or could you adapt with something else that is a good combination together so that you are ready, you're groomed and ready to work, after graduation?
So the
You want to? Okay,
Mm.
so for example, in EPE, we have micro and microeconomics.
Yeah.
So in the past, they had to choose it and they have to do it. So they have a little bit background. So we can combine, for example, if you want to start your own business, but you want to have, we need a language to speak to do business in Spain, for example, or South America. And they need how to communicate in different cultures.
Correct.
And how to behave in different cultures, and that helps them to more open-minded.
Yeah, but yes, as you said before, if they want to take a minor in business, obviously we will need to approach the faculty. But as far as I know, they can, and as Barbara very well pointed, if they combine business with French or China, then they can set up their own business abroad. So that's a very good opportunity, I think.
And what about the students that carrying further studies? Do you have any partners, or do you have an exchange program together in this program?
Well, we have exchange programs abroad, okay, and also we have internships in normally we encourage internships in the 3rd and 4th years, just before the students graduate. Okay, we have one with, for example, the Oriental Hotel. So those are the students who are interested in hospitality. They can actually, get a trimester experience there, actually. So yes, we encourage students to basically get in touch with the real world, before they graduate. So all these opportunities do exist.
Wow. So graduated students, they can go and work in the hospitality industry. I think it's pretty broad program that you can apply to. It's so many things. We have a few more minutes left. For parents who would love to know what this program is all about in short sentences, how would you wrap them up and tell them what this program is all about?
Well, this program is about preparing. Okay, hello parents. This program is about preparing your children for for the world, for traveling, to you develop social skills to deal with people from different cultures, from different it prepares the students, your children to deal with different realities.
So it's more like in depth, right? Because parents might have thought like they might be able to send their kids to few courses outside, online courses, but it's unlike being 4 years here, right?
Yeah. And also, inevitably in life, people experience, difficulties. So we try to equip the students with mechanisms to deal with difficult situations as well, or misunderstandings, which happen all the time or very often, especially when you speak in a foreign language. So all that, basically we try to create a whole, kind of human being as aware. Okay. So, when challenges arise, they are ready to deal with them. That's our goal.
Would you like to add anything, Ajahn Barbara?
No, that is enough.
Yeah, because I feel the course is pretty interesting, with so many things to learn. Some people might not actually thoroughly understand what it is all about. So both of you will be in the virtual exhibitions too, right?
Yeah, sure.
Yes.
And I have another question. So this is more likely exam-based, a coursework, or an exchanging. What is it like? Exam-based or a coursework?
In terms of assessment
activities.
I think, well, different disciplines have different
Yes.
ways of doing
Yes.
this. But yeah, there are exams, there are assessments, there are presentations in front of the whole.
Discussion, presentations.
Yes, of course.
There are research projects to develop critical
Yeah,
thinking
yeah.
as well. So there is a lot going on,
Yeah.
you know. So the type of assessment depends on the concentration and the subjects they choose, because obviously different disciplines are assessed differently, you know. But let's say it's fairly comprehensive. Mhm. Okay.
Yeah.
Thank
Okay,
you.
thank you so much. I think I had a lot of information, and then I believe a lot of students are waiting to talk to you more, you know, and I think now about like 200 plus students are listening to you.
Okay.
Yeah,
Wonderful. Thank
fantastic,
you. Hello.
fantastic. Thank you for your time. That we had a really good talk in regards to intercultural studies and language. Big thanks to you, Ajahn Juan Carlos, Olmos, Alcoy, and Ajahn Barbara Ikan. Thank you so much. ขอบคุณ
Okay.
ค่ะ
Thanks a lot. See you. Bye.
Wow, and that was it. And that was all about our morning sessions. We have been running through so many exciting programs. So let's wrap up a bit. So in the morning since 10, it was about, it was about media and communication program. And later on was about communication design, and followed by international relations and global affairs. And just now was about intercultural studies and language. So we'll be coming back after the lunch once again. But before we go for lunch, let me talk to you a bit about, what's going to be next after lunch. So after the lunch, we come back at 1 p.m. and we're going to talk about Preparation Center and Mathematics by Ajahn Mark. And later on, 1:45 until 2:30, there'll be a talk. We will hear from our students and alumni. We have a chance, to talk to about 3 people, including me, so it's like 4, okay? So prepare and just get back really, really soon. Go and have a good lunch. And do not forget, we waive the application fees, okay? We waive the application fees, but do not forget to get yourself registered in the MUIC Virtual Open Days 2021 through ZIP event, and submit all the applications, okay, within 24 and 26. And once you have submitted everything, please send all the evidence to LINE. We have a LINE, LINE application. Everybody's using it in Thailand. Just do not forget to add LINE @ MUIC friend. That's how we spell, and send all the evidence. Not just that, students who have been listening to the virtual MUIC Open Day, you'll be receiving an e-certificate and also a chance to get this cute teddy bear from MUIC, Mahidol University International College bear, okay? I want to have one too, but I'm not a student anymore, but I'm alumni. I'll try my best, okay, to get one. Okay, thank you so much, and come back, after lunch. See you soon, 1 p.m. Bye-bye. Have a great lunch.